This episode is brought to you in collaboration with Stamford Botanics, your go-to destination for beautiful, thriving plants. Visit stamfordbotanics.co.uk to explore their collection. In this episode, I chat with the lovely Julie Bickerton, whose work centres around supporting women through yoga, baby massage, and the beautiful closing of the bone ceremony. We talked about her journey from massage into yoga, her passion for working with women and families, and how yoga can truly be for everybody. We also touched on the changing landscape of pregnancy care and the importance of truly being heard and supported. It was such a warm and inspiring conversation. Enjoy. Julie, it's so lovely to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to get into this because I have so many questions for you. First of all, to me, it seems like you are deep in the space of guiding mothers and their babies at the early stages.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Well, that is a beautiful way of putting it. It really is. And it's definitely something which has been my life's work since I've had a child. So my child's now 18.
Yeah.
I've got a boy. And when he was a baby, that's when I became, interested in being a mother. Being a mother and interested in babies, development, connection, bonding. So, of course, he's older now. And I feel like I've kind of not moved away from it because I'm at a very different point in my life now. And I haven't so much got my finger on the mothering pulse as I used to. So things like, I was saying about the apps which are available. And the advent of the internet, and everybody is just looking, mothers, parents are looking for answers.
Yeah.
And they're looking for answers, not necessarily in the right place either. So, but what I do is still the way that you connect with your baby through touch, song, yoga, breath work, deep connection hasn't changed. So that's what hasn't changed. I've changed. And I think the way that people are bringing up their children has changed. But the way that we connect hasn't, or that we want to connect. Yeah.
What is it you explore with new moms on ways to connect with their babies?
So I start with pregnancy. So I teach pregnancy yoga, and I'm Birthlight trained. So Birthlight is a wonderful organisation. The woman who started it, she spent a lot of time in the Amazon, and I think she definitely had one of her children amongst the Amazon tribes, and they learnt to sort of parent. She was observing how they parented both in the water and out of the water. So there's Birthlight teachers who teach swimming and on land. So I'm a land Birthlight teacher. So through pregnancy, it's providing a safe space so they can make a deeper connection with their baby, with their body, and learn how to move sort of safely. Because some mums come in and they're like, I'm really anxious and I don't know how it's safe to move. So I'm teaching them how to move safely and fun with a lot of fun in it. So we do a lot of dancing and sort of expressive movements, Yeah. So that's one part of it. And then when she's had her baby is to gather other women together. So we can all be together and support each other in in the parenting journeys. Now I'm saying mothers because it is primarily mothers. I do have dads come into class, but mostly it is mums, and it is the community. It's totally the village, that raises the child, because we are so separate these days. So bringing a group of mothers together is absolutely key, and then seeing what sort of unfolds from there. My classes are baby massage and baby yoga and postnatal yoga. The core of it is ultimately a community. It really is. But over many years of training and doing lots of different things, other things then crop up. They pop up along the way.
And you tweak as you go along.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, you know, no group is the same. No day is the same. You know, if like, for example, I'll say, how's your last week been? I've stopped asking that because your mother can't remember what happened, you know, yesterday.
True.
So if you say, well, how was your morning? You know, because that's the sort of key that, you know, and my God, they've managed to get there. You know, that's huge for a lot of people. Getting out of the house and the all the challenges, especially with your first, where you think, oh, you've got to take the kitchen sink with you, haven't you?
Yeah.
You know, it starts to, the mums who come to my classes with more than one baby, it's really lovely to see because they kind of support the new mums as well. And it's like, it's okay. It'll get better. It will change. It will be different. So, but that is the core of my work is support, and creating a community.
I love that. And the baby massage. So what is the benefit of the massage for the baby and the mother?
Yeah, I mean, there are 4 sort of main benefits of bringing a baby to baby massage. So it's pain relief, stimulation, relaxation, and bonding. So quite often people will be drawn to something because they want to help their child. So, for example, you know, one of the top ones is digestion. Like your baby's got, you know, colic or they're windy, or they don't, you know, or their sleep patterns are erratic. And but mostly it's like, how can I help my baby with X, Y, or Z? You know, which is usually, you know, you cannot go through a class without talking about, you know, pooing and farting and wind. I mean, I love it when a mum brings her baby to class and we do the tummy massage. And, you know, it's like, oh, my baby hasn't pooed for 4 or 5 days. It's like, right, here we go. You know, so we'll do the massage and what a relief. I mean, what a relief for the baby. You know what it's like to have a good poo yourself. Don't we? It's like, and, you know, and that's where we hold a lot of our attention anyway. So it's not just a case, it's not just the strokes, although it's really helpful to have a kind of structure to the course, to the stroke, to this is what you do when this is happening. But ultimately it's actually calming the parent before she steps in and helps the baby. So the old classic, put your oxygen mask on first.
Yes.
And then you can deal with your baby, which is really difficult because it's very difficult not to get drawn into the drama of your baby's pain. And if you can learn techniques, which I teach in class, to help that, then you're coming from a more sort of grounded, open place to help them, to help your baby.
Yeah.
Because, you know, otherwise you're panicked and then you're moving from one thing to another. So yeah, that's one of the benefits, is definitely pain relief. Although it's not one of the big things for me because I don't like to focus too much on the fixing.
Yeah.
It's the real deep, profound connection that you get from, you know, from holding and touching your baby and holding them in different ways as well. And lots of movement with the mother so the baby can calm as well. So yeah, bonding, that's the big one. Bonding and connection and confidence.
Yeah.
When you know, nearly every word comes out, you know, when I chat to mums at the end of a course or a class, they're like, oh, I feel so much more confident. It's like, yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not there necessarily teaching. I'm supporting. I'm supporting in order for them because they know best. Yeah. But the parent knows best. And if she doesn't, you just need to create a space to kind of unearth that. You know, so she'll be like, oh yeah. But it's complicated. Motherhood's complicated.
Really complicated. But so many people rave about the support you offer.
Yeah, I'm pretty established in the community.
Yes. Everybody knows you.
Yeah, I've been teaching a long time. And, you know, with that comes a kind of, you know, recognition with what I do. And I have sort of branched out. So I'm teaching adult yoga now. Yeah. And I'm doing my Qigong training as well.
Oh, so, really? Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So there's always something. There's always something to learn, and I'm going back to the nurseries, which is an absolute joy. So I'm there going, oh, actually, I don't really know. That time of my life has passed and I don't want to do any of that anymore. But actually it has. I've gone back into the nurseries, and I'm starting teaching children and seeing their wonder of the world is like, is rippling out into my work. So that's been really special. And that's only happened sort of in the last 6 months or so. So yeah, lots of changes.
That's amazing. Okay, so you do the adult yoga as well, and I love that you do yoga for all bodies, because anyone that's kind of gone to a class or wanted to go to a class and then thinking, oh, I can't go, I'm not fit enough, I'm not flexible enough, I'm just going to skip it, which obviously defeats the purpose of, kind of getting fit.
Well, exactly. I'm like, okay, can you breathe if you've got a body?
Yes.
You can do yoga.
Yeah.
Really. And, and I suppose I forget that some people's perception of yoga is that of, like, oh, I've got to wear, lycra and be flexible. Absolutely not. So I've got 80-year-olds in class who do yoga from the chair if they need to. I'm well versed in a lot of different conditions. I've had a double hip replacement myself, so it is something that I know that I can adapt with all the different sort of training. And to be honest, it's a lot of self-exploration, which has brought me to that point. So yeah, I was very, very lucky. I had my yoga teacher, Liz Chapman. She taught in Stanford for a long time. She left to go back to Florida, and she said, there you are, you teach the class. I went,
Really?
I went, I can't do that. And then it's a bit of a long story, but anyway, I realised I could.
Yeah.
So, it was the first time I did it. It was like, even though I was used to teaching groups of mums and babies, this was a totally different experience, and it's evolved. It's evolved from there. So I call myself a sort of backdoor yoga teacher. Oops.
That sounds a bit naughty.
That's another podcast.
That's the next one. Yeah,
that's the next podcast.
So then, how did you come to this? How did you come to yoga?
Well, I came to yoga in my 20s. The first sort of experience I'd had with the holistic world was when I was living in Bristol, and there was a woman advertising a weekend massage, how to learn, beginner's massage. I'd never, ever had a massage in my life. I was 21, and I thought, something drew me to it. And I walked into this place, and immediately I felt, I don't know what it was. I felt something, and then to touch another human being with such sort of respect and being intentional and loving, and it was life changing. It really was, and that's what got me interested. Because first and foremost, I was a massage therapist before I started doing yoga. That came a little bit later. So then I got myself into a crap sales job, which I bloody hated. And then I started doing training on the side, just doing little, night courses. So reflexology, aromatherapy, Indian head massage, sports, Swedish massage. And then I had a row with my boss, and I was like, I'm not working here anymore. And I packed it all in. I took a week off, and then I started up on my own. And that was over 20 years ago. So I built my holistic therapy business. So I was living down in Luton at the time, and I built a good practice down there. But it was hard work because, if you're mobile, you're obviously moving around a lot. But I was a lot younger. And it was great because when I went travelling, I was able to take my my skills. So I used to pitch up at hostels and put a little sign up, and say, come for a massage.
Really?
Well, it's great,
I love that. I so would have signed up for that when I was hosteling.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
You've got to. And it was great because everybody was, in that kind of open space. I mean, this is going back, we're looking at sort of 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
So it was quite a long time ago. It wasn't as mainstream. But it was a fabulous way to earn money while I was traveling. So that was great. And then actually yoga is in my heritage. My mum is heavily into yoga. I mean, she's incredible. She's had all sorts of, hip, knee operations and stuff like that, but she keeps herself so fit. So I watched her as I was growing up, doing yoga or her form of yoga. And my godmother, who is, she's now 93, and she was one of Iyengar's first teachers. So way back in the sort of 60s. So and I've loved talking to her about her, her training through the years.
Yeah.
So it's sort of in my blood. My sister's a yoga teacher as well.
Really? That's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. And my brother's a musician, and I use a lot of his music in my work as well. So he's an ambient musician. So we all kind of fit in together. So I just, once I'd discovered yoga, I was like, I love it. I absolutely love it. So I did my postnatal yoga training, and Well Woman it's called. So this is all Birthlight. And lots of other bits and bobs. And then I went through the menopause, and I had to sort of, I had to start really educating myself on all that. Yeah. So my own experiences I'm able to share with other women.
Yeah.
I don't know how, wise they are, but...
Oh my God, please share. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a journey in itself.
Wow, so it changed it. Going through menopause changed kind of the direction you were going and what you were going to do. It
did, yeah. I actually went through an early menopause, which was at 40. So I stopped bleeding at 42.
Wow.
And so I'm now 50. I'm now 55, and I stopped. Really, I thought, great God, I've gone through this. This is what's everyone moaning about. And then, yeah, it hit me. So it was last year, which I went through it was a huge transformation. It really brought me down. But what I did keep doing was doing all the things that I love, and that is movement, yoga, dancing, swimming. I'm a wild swimmer. All the things, even though I was just like, I've got to drag myself. You've got to keep doing the things that you like doing, that you love doing, that light you up.
And they got you through it.
Because you'll get through the other side, yeah. But it can be hard. It really can.
So it really only hit you last year?
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
God, that's amazing, isn't it?
Even when I, as I say, so how many years? 13 years after my last bleed, and everyone says, oh, you're menopause, you're perimenopausal. And then within a day, you're postmenopausal. It's not particularly helpful, those. Maybe it can be. I've watched many of my friends, struggling massively with it, and everyone dealing with it in a different way. I think it was helpful because I had, because of my sort of, different approach, that I was like, I wanted to do things my way. So I didn't seek too much sort of help. I went internal and listened to what I needed.
Because the answers are within.
It is. It is. I know it sounds corny, but if you create enough space and enough time, which we don't always have. I mean, this is a thing with being a mother. You've got, that's the biggest transformation you'll ever make. And the same with menopause, but you don't have any time. I mean, in menopause, of course, usually you've got, parents, that sandwich, isn't it? That sandwich generation. You're still looking after, in our case, teenagers or, or maybe your parents, but you don't have that space. So actually coming to a class and having, just even if it's just a couple of hours a week, can allow that dialogue with yourself, a little internal dialogue.
Yeah.
Rather than sort of searching. Don't get me wrong. Oh my God, there's some amazing work out there that people are doing. But I've tended to sort of scuttle back and just gone, let's look inside, see what's going on there.
I love that.
Yeah. It's not always, it's not always pleasant.
It's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And so this is shaping now how you want to move forward. But last year would you say that's a catalyst?
Yeah.
To what you want to do going forward?
Yeah, it is. It is. And I don't want to leave, I'm not leaving things behind because what's happened over 30 odd years, everything that you learn, as you know, then starts to feed into your work. It starts to go, like I'm teaching, it's interesting because I'm teaching in the nurseries, I'm teaching things which I've picked up from years ago and going, oh God, where did that come from? And what I realise is that you don't just go, okay, well, I'm just going to go on this trajectory now. Yeah. It incorporates everything that I've learned in the last whatever, throughout my life, really. So it's great to be able to do that, to be able to share that with other people. But there's definitely a change. I mean, look, I choose where to spend and who to spend my time with a lot more carefully as well. My energy is not sort of leaking out. So this is why actually it's quite surprising when I'm like, oh, I do have enough energy for this because I manage my output better. And what goes in, then sort of I'm able to come out, because it's when you're in a caring industry, you've got to do that. Yeah, you have to mind your own energy. Yeah, for sure.
I'm dying to ask you about closing the bones. Can you explain what that is?
So closing the bones is it's actually a Mexican tradition.
Okay.
And so you use a rebozo. A rebozo is a long scarf, but they usually make their own scarf. So within the making of the rebozo goes the energy of making it for the mother who is pregnant, and she uses it throughout all her pregnancy. So I use a rebozo if I do massage a pregnant woman, and I use it in yoga as well to wrap her. To support the belly. She'll sleep with the rebozo, so it infuses her smell. And then when the baby is born, she'll use it as a sling. It's not so much used here because because of the heavy use of prams here. But she will use the rebozo as a sling, and then they use the same rebozo. It's really beautiful to close her bones. So traditionally, there's a lot of women involved in this. So your village would come, and she would wrap. So she lays on the floor, and the rebozo is wrapped around her pelvis to physically close the body and energetically close her body, because after you've had children, you're so open.
Yes.
So both physically, emotionally, and everything. Yeah. So it's about bringing everything, back into her. So traditionally as well, I use the word traditionally because I do it differently because I work on my own. I'll come to that in a minute. But they'll wrap her ankles, her knees, her pelvis, breasts, and her head as well. So it's like, you're quite bound, but you have this rocking in with it as well. You rock the pelvis. It's so beautiful. So you stand above the woman and you rock her pelvis. And the feedback I've had from mothers who have had this, they're like, it was like I went somewhere else, because that rocking, it shifts things, and it's so just like rocking a baby,
Yeah.
it's very therapeutic. But it also does something, I don't know what, to the brain. Actually, it does. It releases parts of in the sacrum. Sometimes the sacrum can get quite stuck, and that can release. So you get energy moving up the spine into the mother's brain, which means that she's less likely to suffer with postnatal depression. So that's so doing work on the pelvis may help. I'm not saying it can. And then you get sang to. So the women sing. So when I had mine, but Bo was 7 when I had my Closing the Bones, and I just sobbed. It was because I had all these women around me, you know, supporting me and singing to me.
Wow.
It was really beautiful. And I was like, right, I've got to offer this. But because I don't work, I work by myself. Or I usually just wrap the pelvis. I rock, wrap. And there's an abdominal massage as well to bring all the organs back into their rightful place. So there's that aspect of it as well. And I work on the floor. I'm a Thai massage practitioner, so I'll incorporate a lot of other stuff into the Closing the Bones ceremony. And because it's ceremonial.
Yeah.
It's a ceremonial, you know, act of saying, I'm reclaiming my body. I am, you know, I'm coming back to me.
Yeah.
And it's really beautiful. The baby can be present as well. So you have the baby sometimes lying by the mother, and the baby responds. Quite often the baby will just be really, really calm. You know, we'll stop and they'll feed, and you know, then we'll return to it, that sort of thing. So the baby can be there, or the baby doesn't have to be there.
Wow. So hang on, you had it done when your son was 7?
Yeah.
So obviously my next question is it too late for me? Mine are nearly 13.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. In fact, one of my friends has been in touch, and her son he must be 19 now. She said, will you close my bones for me?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I'd absolutely love to.
It sounds amazing. I want to do that.
Yeah. I'd love to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I really would.
I'm all excited. It sounds unbelievable.
It's a beautiful ritual. But it's also, you know, really, really beneficial as well. Yeah.
And when you wrap the pelvis, are you wrapping it tightly? Is it moving the bones, or?
Yeah, it can move the bones. So you've got to have, there's quite a lot. So the rebosos are quite long. So you lift, you cross, and you pull. So it does literally, it can move the bones. Not massively.
Yeah.
And I would be really, I'd check with the woman beforehand to make sure, like any pelvic girdle pain, can, you know, sometimes it can be exacerbated. So I'd have to be really, really careful. But quite often that goes away after you've had your baby anyway.
Yeah.
But it can bring, you know, it brings the pelvis in, and your symphysis pubis right in, you know, in the middle, that can close it up as well. It feels really, it's like having I was going to say a pair of very tight Spanx on, but probably not selling that very well. But it's a great comfort, and you know, once you've been rocked, and then rocked, wrapped, and massaged. I mean, you know, who wouldn't?
It's making me think of being swaddled.
Yeah.
As an adult.
Yes.
Which to me, when I think about that, it feels really appealing.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't like being enclosed. So I did a woman who, and I bound her ankles. So, and she said, I don't like it. Okay. So I unwrapped her, and I always give people the choice, because sometimes because you've got to really succumb to it.
Yeah.
And that's not an easy thing for a lot of people, to just go, I'm just going to be very sort of, you know, open, and I don't know if it's passive, if that's the right word, but definitely open.
Yeah.
And if there's certain, you just don't know, you know, I think, you know, we've all been through some levels of trauma, and I'm not using that word in a heavy way, but, you know, you've got to sort of understand where the woman is and being swaddled or being sort of almost contained might not feel particularly safe or comfortable. So it's not just a case of every closing the bones is the same. It really isn't. You've got to sort of go in a little bit deeper from that and check in, make sure that she's happy with it. But that sort of fetal, that being held, that and the head as well. So you rock the head in a scarf, in a rebozo.
Wow.
So the head's sort of just gently rocking. Again, not everybody is happy with that, because it's can sometimes make you feel a little bit dizzy.
Okay.
It hasn't happened with anybody I've taught, but in yoga, people, like looking up too quickly or looking down, it can feel a little bit sick. So you've got to be careful with the head rocking and keep checking in with them, making sure that they are happy with it. Yeah.
I'm sold.
Great.
It all sounds
Come on
lovely
then.
to me.
Lie down.
Sign me up. Wrap me up.
Sign me up for that closing the bones.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I would love to every woman who's had a baby. This is just it, when I see women who, well, any woman, I know that she would benefit from it massively. Just imagine, when you're pregnant, you meet a group of women, you go through pregnancy with them, you birth together, you're supported in that process. Each of you has a closing the bones. You all come to the same class. You're not scattered. You're creating this really, this journey. I mean, I'm friends with my mates still, who I went to antenatal classes with. So that, that sort of experience of with the closing the bones, bringing that kind of, as I say, chapter. It doesn't have. If you go to have more children, you can have more than one closing the bones. So it's not. You don't just wait till you've had
all of them.
All of them, yeah. And you don't just have to have one, because it's always a different experience. Yeah.
Wow, maybe we could film it and put it up so people can see.
I think that's, actually, I think that is a really good idea, because a lot of people be like, because it's a very personal thing to be, this is just it, photographing people in class. It's really tricky.
Yeah.
But it also showcases what I do. But it's really difficult to kind of like get an impression of what it is. So it's quite private. But if we got, absolutely,
I'd be so open to that.
You would?
Definitely.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, we could do it on time lapse or something.
Yeah. That would be amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
For that.
Oh, I'm so excited now.
I really am, because then you can see, but it really brings it to life, because some people are like, oh God, really? I just wanted to say actually about closing the bones with women who've had caesarean births. Notice the word birth and not, I don't like the word section, caesarean section. I just, I mean, this is a huge subject, but abdominal massage for a woman who's had a belly birth can be huge. Quite often it'll be like, I don't even want to touch my own belly, let alone somebody else. So I would work with her with that as well, through touch.
I had a C-section.
Yeah.
A belly birth.
Right.
And I felt quite similar. Didn't want to
look at it. Didn't want to touch it.
It kind of creeped me out. So.
Yeah, that's really common. And energetically, it's your second chakra.
Yes, right.
It's like, okay, let's just cut you there.
Yeah. And
it's so interesting talking to women about their, you say freaks you out, doesn't squeamish, all those physical things, but ultimately, one mum said, I just feel that I'm just totally separate from my own body.
Wow.
As in this part, and like she's been severed. Not all women feel that way, but I've many conversations go down that route. So I would teach her in my one-to-ones. I have done it in class. I've held healing and loving yourself after caesarean birth classes.
Really?
Yeah, which are highly emotional.
Wow.
Because again, the mother doesn't get a chance to kind of process what's happened. And I'm not saying vaginal births are, are without any challenges, but while we're on the subject of cesarean births, the amount of emotion that is stuck in the body. So quite often we'll just sit with our hands on the belly and breathe,
reconnecting
with your body, and then we can move on. But that can take a lot of time. But they'll send you off and they go, off you go after major abdominal surgery.
Yeah,
fine. Yeah. Don't pick up your babies. What? I don't know what the answer is. Well, I do. It's the village again, but that's not possible, is it? But then she starts to feel better, and it's like, oh, okay. And then she's forgotten almost, and then it's like, oh, maybe I do need to reconnect. So doing just gentle touch, gentle stretching. So I've got a whole course on YouTube called Healing and Loving Yourself After Cesarean Birth, and I put it up free because I want I want every woman who's had a cesarean birth to do this, because it's a very high rate of cesareans.
And once again, is it ever too late to do that? No. So even I'm almost 13 years on.
Yeah,
it's not too late.
No, it's not. I mean, you get a different level of healing. So I would go, because yours is a more mature scar, but I would still start with the resting the hands. Yeah. Resting the hands, using breath work, and seeing what comes up, because there might be some locked in experiences there. And then I would work on teaching you how to massage. So it might be a deeper form of massage that I teach you. But that's where closing the bones is great as well, because of the rocking. It moves all the fascia, or the huang, as they say in Qigong. So it releases all of that. If the fascia's tight around any scar, I mean, I've got scars everywhere, then that obviously affects the rest of the body. So it's not just here.
Yeah. And
quite often you can get back issues which come up later on as well, because remember, after menopause, you've got the ups and downs of, estrogen. Yeah. Which means then other things can arise. So quite often women will come back to me perimenopausal or menopausal and say, yeah, I didn't attend to myself because I didn't have enough either knowledge or time, and now I'm getting stuck. So it's such a privilege to work with women one-to-one. Yeah, it really is. It's amazing, especially as I've built a bond with her through coming to my classes. Yeah. So she'll turn up and have her closing the bones after going to baby massage and baby yoga. Yeah. And then people are coming back to my yoga classes. Yes. And it's and they're like, yeah, my child's left home now, or they're in further education, and they're coming back. So it's this sort of full circle.
I love it.
Yeah. So do I.
I love that they come back.
Yeah. 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 And it's because I suppose I'm familiar. Which helps, doesn't it?
It really does. Yeah. Yeah. And you've made such a name for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, along with that has been, all the trials and tribulations of working for yourself.
Oh, yes.
And the personal journeys that you go through, and you experience and you witness as well through, so there's a lot of...
But it adds to it.
Yeah, it does. It does.
And then also the feral family yoga.
Oh, yeah.
Please, can you talk about that?
So I called it was actually one of my mum's. I get loads of things from when my parents come to class, from like making up songs to, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that saying. She's like, oh, my children are feral. I went, brilliant. Bring them and bring them to family yoga. So I stuck feral on the beginning of it. Brilliant. Feral family yoga. So it is like literally for all the family. I mean, if I can do it outside, I will. Yeah. Because it's so great to have the kids doing yoga outside anyway. I'm doing a lot of outside yoga at the moment. And quite often it's the only time that I see the dad. It's really rare that I get dads coming to class. And even then I have to kind of like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Going back to that, but I'm not very flexible. I can't even sit on the floor. I don't start doing any fancy yoga poses. Yeah. It's things like the tunnel. So the feral family yoga tunnel, all the parents get on all fours and do like tabletop, and the children go under. If there's newborn babies there, the mum can be sat feeding, anywhere from sort of having, pregnant women up to grandparents in class. And there's always a level I suppose it's because of my training and a lot of experience that I've been able to go, right, you do that with that child.
Yeah.
Be careful doing that with grandma or whatever. I'm not saying
Don't break
grandma.
her.
Yeah. No, I saw that is amazing grandmother in class, and she was like, wow. She was doing, the child was climbing on her back. She was doing downward dogs. The child was rolling off her back, and she was really, super. It's really great when you get the whole family.
Yeah.
And then what happens? The children get to know other. Well, of course, because maybe they've met in class before, so they'll start moving around the mats. And if you're a mum flying solo on the day, it's such a relief to have your child go and just hang out with another family.
Yeah.
So you can go, oh God, a bit of a
break.
breather. Yeah. And if I can, I'll get the child on my mat. I love it. If you can sort of, when Bo used to come to my classes, or get dragged, should I say. So I always had a sort of body to play with. And now, of course, I haven't. So I'm like, come over here and stand on my back. I'm really into creating like a trust between the parent and the baby and building that confidence. Lots of sort of roughhousing in a safe environment. So I always say, as soon as you're on the floor, you're fair game.
Yeah.
Your children are going to climb on you.
Yeah.
And so they get standing on their parents, and you can see their faces like, look at me up here, lording it up over everybody,
Yeah.
It's really great. And it can be absolute carnage sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not one of those classes that you go to. In fact, none of my classes are really like so kind of structured that it's prescriptive.
Yeah.
I can't work like that, and I never have. I'm not a franchise and anything like that. So it's looking to see what's happening in the room. So if a child is doing something, I'll be on it. Yeah. I'll be like, look at Ollie over there doing his downward dog. Come on, let's all do downward dog. And then Ollie's sort of taken the lead in the class.
Yes,
it's really lovely watching.
You're just
kids
in
do
a
that.
flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without, and I always say to parents, when you come, drop all expectations. Do not expect anything from your child because it puts them under too much stress.
Yeah.
You can go to other classes for that, for sort of, strict instruction.
Yeah.
But I'm there for the feralness. Is that the right word? It is now.
And is there an age limit? On children?
Up to 6 usually. However, I'm not going to. I've had 13-year-olds there. Yeah. I was teaching.
What are they like?
It's really funny. And one of my friends she's got a big family, and her youngest he was 4. Her oldest is 13, and he was like this, like literally looking at me. And I said to him, you're going to have to tap into your inner child. I said, just go with it. And by the end of it, we were having such a laugh. And their little brother, they made a tunnel, like a family tunnel, because the dad was there as well. And the brothers were in the tunnel. And the little boy was using them as stepping stones to go across their back. So I was like, yeah, come on. I know this is.
Because it's there. They just need, a space where they can kind of let go of this kind of armour. Yeah,
exactly. Well, you know what, it's teenage years. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So actually that can feel really, really nice. So there is an age limit to 6, but absolutely if there's the rest of the family can come in to connect. And actually you just reminded me, because I've got a mum in class in pregnancy yoga at the moment, and she has she has a 23-year-old daughter, and she's pregnant again because she's got a second relationship.
Wow.
And her daughter is coming to the pregnancy classes with her.
Yeah.
And she's like learning. I don't want kids, and I said maybe you don't, but this is it kind of goes in. So she's connecting with her mum.
Yeah.
Her mum's connecting with her baby, and she's going, oh, I love that. I love it when young women come to class.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to do more mum and mother and daughter.
I mean, it is such a lovely thing for younger people to kind of experience as well in advance of having babies and everything.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah. Because unless you've got, again, a family where that's sort of all shared, I didn't have a clue, really.
Yeah.
I really didn't. And that's why I do the work that I do, because it was quite, it was isolating.
Yeah.
I felt it isolating. And I didn't prepare myself for the birth which I wanted, actually. This is going back to expectations.
Yeah.
It really is. I was present at my sister's first birth of her first baby. It was a day like this. It was absolutely fucking boiling. And she gave birth in a swimming pool, in a paddling pool. And it was just the most incredible thing. And then I was present at another friend's birth of her baby at home, and I was like, that's it, I'm going to have a home birth. They weren't, the medics, this is just it, we've all got choices, we've all got the choice. And actually I should have equipped myself more and had known which routes to go down to ask those questions. I mean, I don't think they liked the fact that I lived on a boat, and it was like, oh my God, you can't have a baby on a boat.
Wow.
It was like, well,
that's what's happening.
Look how we've birthed for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah.
In all sorts of places. Doesn't that? Yeah. Oh God, don't get me onto hospital medicalised birth, but yeah.
Wow, I love that. Did you actually give birth on the boat then?
No, I didn't. A woman down the cut did. She had a baby. She had a baby on her boat. No, I had. I went to hospital.
Yeah.
And it was that classic cascade of intervention.
Yeah. Where
it just all. I mean, I had a vaginal birth, but it would have easily ended up in. I'm putting these commas up: emergency cesareans. A lot of them aren't emergencies.
Yeah.
So it was a massive thing. It was then. I was like, right, I've got to. By that time, I was teaching baby classes, and I thought I've got to get in there and show families what else is available to them by educating on different choices.
Yeah.
It's and there is, it's entirely up to you. But there's some brilliant workers in Stamford. We've got hypnobirthing Sophie. I don't know if you know Sophie. And Lauren, who's a Stamford doula, and they hold meetings that pregnant women can go to find out their choices. So they're well equipped. You're well equipped in advance.
That's amazing.
And if you don't want to do it, then the routes and the word and the words to use around it. It's a minefield.
It is,
and it shouldn't have to be.
And sometimes it feels like you don't have any choices.
I know. Yeah. But this is it, you do.
You do.
And unfortunately, some of the wording which is used is incredibly negative. And I think it can be worrying.
Yeah.
But of course, there will always be situations where people will go, the mother will say, well, I really didn't have any choice and this happened. Absolutely. Can save people's lives. And that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying that just even if you've got this kind of like image of what it's going to be like, you as soon as you go into hospital, you really are, it's okay, we're timing you sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh, completely.
And I'm sure there would be midwives out there who disagree with me, but they're bless them, it's really, they're working under a really hard system. They are. Yeah. So
and overworked.
And overworked.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the implications of that, of that, and the support of the mother, both sort of prenatally and postnatally, can continue. You know, it can continue throughout her life.
Yeah. So
I did a talk with the WI last year before. Anyway, they were great, and it was on pelvic health.
Oh wow!
So that's another one of my massive interests. And during the interview, they nearly all of them had children, and that's what they ended up talking about. So these are women well into their 60s, up to into their 80s, and all of them wanted to talk about the birth of their babies. Then that's 50.
That's amazing.
50 years ago. So it's never. I'm not saying it's never integrated, but there's always something that hasn't been processed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a real eye opener actually for me.
Yes.
We had a right laugh though. We got talking about not just pelvic floors, vaginas, sex, birth. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's still on their minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, because it's so, well, as I say, it's the biggest thing that you will ever, that you'll ever do.
Yeah. Wow. So I suppose I love to kind of ask people, what are the rituals or practices that you do? Doesn't have to be daily, but what you couldn't live without, that kind of keeps you in a good space.
Yeah. Yeah, good question. So all of these are consistency.
Okay.
So I love the quote from, I think it was Julie Andrews. She said, discipline gives you the freedom to fly free. If you're doing something on a regular basis, then you've got you're instilling those habits, and then the rest of your life you can go with the flow a little bit. So I really like that. So I will, God, this is really specific. So things like first thing in the morning, I'll do 10 deep breaths.
Okay.
I'll do my pelvic floor exercises in bed. Then I get up, I boil the kettle. I have a slice of lemon and a bit of lemon balm from my garden. And then I'll wait for that to cool off, and I'll either do 15 minutes of yoga, or at the moment it's Qigong because I'm doing my training. So I might do a bit of both. If it's nice weather, I'll be outside doing it, or at least have my drink outside. So movement, swimming.
Okay.
So I swim throughout the year. I've got a big WhatsApp group we call the Wild Women of the Waters. And yeah, there's like 70 odd people in it. Wow. And so I swim throughout the year, and I go, if I can, 3 times a week. So I'll do that. Yeah. Even if it's absolutely freezing, which is the best. So that, and singing. So I sing with a local group, run by Sarah. She's amazing. The Wah Wah Women.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So singing as a group, and dancing. I do dance on a regular basis. So I host these cosmic discos for women, which is really, really good fun. So anywhere that I can sort of let loose and, prance around my kitchen, put stupid, Instagram things up. So those are my rituals. Yeah. And they're pretty non-negotiable. So even during a very, difficult time, I was like, I've got to keep this up. Yeah. Things like experimenting with cooking, and I'm really into fermenting at the moment. Oh, really? So I'm making my own sauerkraut and kimchi and stuff.
Oh my God, you should talk to my husband.
Oh really? Is he into it?
He was into it for a while, yeah.
It was a lockdown thing. I think a lot of people got into let's make sourdough. Yeah. I mean, it's not the last sourdough. True. Yeah, the last sourdough I made, I could have knocked somebody out with it. It was like a brick. But it's all experimentation. Yeah. So yeah, quite often I find myself in the kitchen, especially if I need to. I don't know. There's a certain time during the week where I'm like, I've got to get in the kitchen. For some reason, you got the, you know, I get drawn to do something in the kitchen. So those are the things. Those are the things. But of course, because I teach, I'm even though I am teaching, I'm also doing it. I'm moving. I'm doing it for myself.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm lucky. I'm lucky to absolutely love what I do.
Yeah. That's the key.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I'm super, super lucky.
Well, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.